Peacemaker has been one of my favorite shows in the past couple of years, and I honestly can't get enough of it. And in my opinion, I better not see any of you keyboard warriors type it in the comments. I think it's actually better than The Boys. It takes this guy who's a natural-born killer, who only cares about completing the mission, and develops him into, someone who actually, gets over his trauma and trying to make up for his mistakes in the past. And by the end of it, he finds people that actually care about him, and he becomes a better person. But we're not here to talk about the TV show. We're here to talk about the comic book, Peacemaker Tries Hard. Obviously, as you can see, it's based off the TV show. And this has been probably the best comic book I've read in a while. I mean, it's really funny. It's really interesting. And I can tell you, I actually laughed while reading this thing. This thing was really well written. All the comedy was just great. I don't think there's ever been all the jokes, they landed really well, in every book so far. There hasn't been a bad issue of this comic book so far. And I think you guys should all support it. That's why I'm talking about here today. It's a great book. So, let's just get straight into it. The first page starts off with Peacemaker trying to convince the cashier that he's an actual superhero. Because no one actually knows who he is and no one cares. And even the Suicide Squad, a bunch of criminals put in a group together, actually don't even like Peacemaker. It's just quite unfortunate. And from what we can see that, Peacemaker in this one has also had a traumatic childhood caused by his father. And he's still trying to get over it. And this is something I think the comics took inspiration from the TV show. It shows that Peacemaker is trying to get over his traumatic past, and he's, dealing with it in, many ways. So, good on them for including that. And after a mission, he finds a dog that he names Bruce Wayne. And this is Peacemaker's only friend. And sadly, this dog gets kidnapped by the Brain. And so Peacemaker is going to go find this dog and obviously hurt whoever stands in his way. This is where, the comedy really shines. On the hunt for this dog, Peacemaker climbs through a sewage pipe and snaps this guy's neck. He just contorts. I mean, just look at that. Ew. What type of human would do that? He goes on to kill the next guy, but, the guy stops in his track and acts like it's an everyday thing for him, which is pretty hilarious, by the way. I think that was pretty funny. And he explains to Peacemaker that the guy he killed was actually a sex offender, so I guess Peacemaker wasn't really doing an injustice. And right after that, he just hoses him off. And, I thought that interaction was, pretty hilarious. And I think that's one of my favorite things about this comic, is that Peacemaker is able to interact with people like, how you and a friend would interact. And, that's really cool, because it shows that he doesn't take himself too seriously, and he himself knows that he's kind of like a D-list superhero compared to, guys like Batman, Superman, or Green Lantern, who, sure, they could stop an alien invasion, but, they couldn't really, connect with the average Joe on the street or change his life in any way. They'd save him, yeah, but would that leave a lasting impact? And I think that's also why I like Spider-Man a lot, is because his connection to people. And, that's what Peacemaker shows really well. But, let's just continue on with this little issue review. Turns out Brainiac was the one who actually is holding Peacemaker's dogs hostage and is forcing him to get the genetic material from Deathstroke's body. And, it just looks like him and the monkey, the one that he teams up with to go get this thing, is, pretty good time. And, unfortunately, the monkey betrays Peacemaker and, actually hates him. And then Peacemaker comes to the realization that no one actually likes him and no one really wants him to be involved in their lives, and that he really has no friends. And, I guess this is just quite unfortunate. I really have nothing to say here. This is just really just a sad panel. But after this, after beating up on some D-list villains, he realizes that, it doesn't matter if no one likes him. There's going to be someone that's always below him. And, and he's his own person. And I like that he comes to that realization. That's where I stop. And, I know I kind of sped through this, and I did a little bit of a bad job explaining everything, but that's just because I want you guys to read it for yourselves. I just think it's that good where I want to do it justice by trying to explain everything. And it's not because I'm lazy and I don't want to keep adding more clips or editing the video, even though it would only really take me 5-10 minutes. But, that's not the case at all. I just hope everyone knows. But, I really like the comic. I think you guys would too if you, were to check it out. Peacemaker, it's a great show. I really hope there's a season 2 that comes out soon. I mean, if you guys are looking for a season 2 or itching for a season 2, this comic is, a really good alternative to just keep you busy. That's it. That's it for Peacemaker Tries Hard. Anyways, see you guys later. Stay halal. Keep going at it.